everybody, my name is Chad, and I am going to be doing a video series, and I'm just going to have it keep going on and on until I've taught everything I can about Visual Basic applications for Excel, or better term for it is VBA for Excel. I use it as I'm an assistant controller for a company, and I use most of our data gets dumped into Excel, and so I often have to use Excel to analyze data, take complex information, and put it into a meaningful understanding, summarized report. So first off, what we want to do is to be able to start learning this is get the developer tab put up here, because you're going to be needing that. And if you've never used macros recording or never done any Visual Basic programming prior, more than likely your developer tab is not here. If it's already here, you can go ahead and skip this step, but if your last tab here is view or you do not see the developer tab here at all, you're going to need to enable it. So anyways, what you need to do is click on the Microsoft button on top, go down to Excel options, and I'm going to squeeze this screen in here so you can actually see what I am doing. And right here, there's just a little checkbox you need to click that says Show Developer tab in the ribbon. And right here up on top needs to be on the Popular tab if it didn't go there, but should have gone there by default. Once you click that, you will see the Developer tab, and you're going to see on the far left side is Visual Basic, Macros, Record Macros, Use Relative Reference, Macro Security. I haven't played with that too much, but all these other items I've pretty much played with. This stuff is more for form designing, and this is for like importing and exporting data, I assume. And this actually has XML, so this is used for using a program language called XML, which we're not going to be using at all. But anyways, this is the side we will be using right here. This pretty much is going to be our realm. I'll quickly go over these, and once we've covered what these are, the next video series, we'll go ahead and look at recording a macros and seeing what Visual Basic code looks like, and we'll get started from there. And at the same time, we'll record a macros and maybe do our first little bit of programming within that macro. So anyways, here's the Visual Basic button. If you put your mouse over there, another way that you can open it is Alt F11, and I'm a keyboard maniac. I love shortcut keys on the keyboard, so I'll probably be using that Alt F11 quite a bit. But I'm going to go ahead and just click it right now, and I'm going to refit this to the camera view. And here you go. You see the Visual Basic. This is where you actually are going to be typing your code in. Right now, we'll just say that, and we'll get back to this screen later, but this is where you actually create your program in. So this we'll be using quite often. Over here, we'll look at this button first, Record Macro, and let's see what Excel has to say for here. Record macros. Each of the commands you perform will be saved into a macro so that you can play them back again. Well, Microsoft actually couldn't describe it any better than I could. So basically, the way I would say it is you will run a few commands within the Excel spreadsheet. With this record macro button pushed, it'll watch everything that you do. So if you come over here and you click, you highlight entire row, first row, and you come over here and you click bold and you click underline, and then you come back over here, we'll do this here, and record that macros and stop the macros recorder. You'll go into this button here. This is why I wanted to show you this portion first. You'll go into here, and you'll have a bunch of, you'll give each macros record a name, and you'll have a bunch of macros in here, and you can run it. So if you open up a new spreadsheet, or open up a new worksheet or whatever, and you always need to do that bold underline, then you can come in here, run it, and it'll do exactly what you did. In fact, we'll probably do that. I'll show you how to do that, and we'll do exactly what I said. We'll highlight this row, bold it, underline it, look at how that works. Now, there's another button here that we need to understand, and we'll look at this a little bit more, but it's use relative reference. You could sit here and read this whole thing and for it to describe, but basically, for the most part, what I will say is you're going to have that turned on, and basically it just toggles on and off. You see I click it and it's like highlighted. If I click it again, it turns off. So for the most part, you're going to want it that direction, but we'll look at what that is. Basically, if I did something in cell A1, if I'm in here and I record the macros, and it records it, and let's say that it was off, okay? And then I go to a new worksheet, and which I clicked on sheet 2 now, and I tell it to run, it will do everything I did exactly in cell A1. Well, let's say that I wanted cell A1 bold and underlined on this one specifically, but then I wanted to be able to run a macros recorder and do it on this cell. Well, if I have this off, it's using what we call absolute reference, and it's going to come directly to cell A1 when I run the macros and bold and underline this cell right here instead of the one that I wanted it to. However, if I recorded cell A1 with the use relative reference on, and I said I want it bold and underlined, then it's going to actually, when I record, after I get done recording it, when I say, like, if I wanted to make this cell bold and underlined, it would actually end up recording or formatting this area here. But anyways, I probably kind of delved into too much in that area, but you don't have to really worry about that, because we'll do exactly what I just said, and you'll see exactly the differences. So you kind of want to get a understanding of what's happening under the hood of macros recording and running macros before you even really jump into Visual Basic. So in the next video, we'll go ahead and record a macro, and I will see you there.